Hello everyone, Turner Burner here with another video for you guys. A class that I want to go over that, obviously based off of the level, I really haven't gotten into that much, but I'm going to do my best to discuss what I have, started to pick up on over the last month or so. Is Veteran. It's a class that in older operations, I'd say 1, 2, and 3 was mediocre at best, unless the player specifically was really, really good. There's a lot of veteran or Marcus classes that did this class a disservice, which caused me not to use it. A lot of the classes that I have used, or in the past or whatever, at least when I was starting out in PVE, because this is my first PVE for people who don't already know that. The reason I would use classes is because I would see people perform well with another class. So my very first class was Cog Gear, and then I became Dell because I saw engineers getting more damage. I used Kate because I saw people, Kate, classes getting more damage, and then JD and Jack and so on and so forth. Had my reasons for using each individual class, but Veteran, it was very rare I saw any person of this class getting a lot of damage per round. It didn't happen until Operation 4, where it was kind of like an overreaction. They made this class, some players, I don't really use this word, but some players say overpowered, to where it was the strongest class in the game for Horde. You could solo master matches on different maps, but the bottom line is, even with the changes from Operation 4 to him being slightly nerfed, if he is nerfed, we'll discuss that in Operation 5. He's still a dominant player in both Horde and Escape. And I like the fact that he was buffed severely compared to the older operations, to where he was borderline irrelevant. But let's get right into it. And again, my experience with this class does not compare to other classes. I haven't soloed that many maps with it. As an example, just the Line, and Ice Queen, and the Wanderer. Excuse me, almost forgot that one. So I haven't soloed a ton of escape matches, and because I really don't enjoy this class a whole lot, and if I do say something wrong, like I'm going to continue to say in these videos, comment below your information, to make sure people get the right stuff out there. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So one-man army, the Veteran is a powerful rifle class focused on fundamentals of cover-based combat. Ultimate ability, Living Legend, and this is what makes him a game changer for score runs specifically, where I'll get into it. So automatically fire at enemy heads in sight. Any allies in cover with you will do the same. And his passive takes no damage during executions. His passive used to be, I believe, damage you take charges your ultimate. I'm not sure if they changed in Operation 4 or Operation 5. I want to say they changed in Operation 5. I'm not 100% sure, though. So let's get right into it. And I'm not going to, unlike the other ones, this one is going to be strictly just talking about the skill cards. The example stacks will be based off of what you put in the comment section for Horde and Escape. Because in all likelihood, 9 out of 10 people, or I would even go as far as saying 99 out of 100 people, probably have more experience with this class than I do. So I'm going to let the comment section determine how much the example stacks that you guys want to give. I think that'd be better than me saying my example stacks, and you can give your reasons below, and I'll respond to them, and there's probably a good chance I'll learn something as well. So all right, so veteran skill cards, 90, I'm just going to read them off one by one. 90% increased damage when at low health. So one time I got damaged by a juvie. So the specifics are 90% increased damage when at less than 80% health. First of all, the diciness of this card insinuates that you are about to be downed. So unless you're in a constant weird situation where you're about to be down but not getting down, this may not be a card you want to use because you always have to be, you don't have to be like super low health, but you have to be less than 80%. So you're going to do 90% more at less than 80%. This could be a good card for maps with regen penalty because you're going to be less than 80% for longer because your health is taking long to regen, like the split. What's another one? The gauntlet. What am I missing? There's a lot of maps that have regen penalty. A lot of the Operation 4 maps have regen penalty, gatekeepers. So Last Ditch can help you. I believe you can 1 melee juvies as opposed to 3, maybe 2 instead of 3. I can't remember, but you will notice a difference if you have this card on. It's a good card in my estimation. Extended Rifle Mag. Most of my friends who are extremely good veteran users, they mention that this card, they don't use this card per se. It just helps you reload less, but it doesn't help you get necessarily more ammo. Also, it helps you get more from ammo pickups, but this card isn't really used a whole lot as far as the standard 5-card build, and it's definitely not used in our score run build in general. So Band of Brothers, Living Legend generates 125 stem per second. This doesn't keep you immortal, but it does help you get constant stem when you're in your ultimate, so you can be blind firing over cover, auto headshots, while also gaining stem to give you a little bit of defense. Won't necessarily keep you again immortal, but it will give you a little bit of defense if you're getting constantly hit a little bit. Focus is one of the changes from feedback, which it used to be in other operations. Feedback used to be based off of the damage you continue doing, continues your ultimate. So the nerf, if you want to call it that, prevents Marcus users from having their ultimate for 40 waves in a Horde match, because now it's locked in on a set time, but that time is actually very long. And I don't know what it used to be before as far as Marcus's ultimate, but before Marcus, it wasn't really that common for Marcus users to use a sniper rifle within their ultimate. Now, the Marcus user doesn't even have to reload. I don't know if they didn't have to reload before. I honestly don't. I didn't use that class like that, but I know that now that it's common to use sniper rifles just to blast a bunch of enemies consecutively. So focus, it being a set time, can be nice if you are a user that's not a Marcus user or a veteran user that's not getting damage, that quickly, or if that makes sense. So like if you're not getting damage, maybe you use your ultimate a little early and you don't see any enemies. It could be unfortunate because of the fact that if it was feedback, it'd be unfortunate because your ultimate's going to run out. Because it's focus, you have a little bit more extra time to kind of figure out where everything's at. Maybe enemies you thought were going to be there aren't there, whatever, they didn't spawn correctly. So it gives you a little bit more leeway focus in comparison to feedback. Some maps, feedback is better, but I would say in terms of escape, most maps, focus is better. Especially the ones with shorter ultimate, because you have a set like, Ice Queen as an example, the Link, which you really wouldn't use Marcus, but also the End. You having that set time takes the pressure off as the veteran user. Custom Lancer is a borderline must-have if the map has Retro Lancer, Regular Lancer, or Lancer GL. Borderline must-have to allow you to do more damage in your ultimate, to get better, faster headshots. Defensive Stem is a card I used when I did my my solo on the line, because I couldn't use other cards because it's an all Scion map. But long story short, it stacks with Band of Brothers and increases your stem capacity. I don't know what it is at level 6. I'm assuming it's 110%. But when you're in your ultimate, or I'm assuming also if you're just picking up stem, you can have more defense in your ultimate. So Band of Brothers and defensive stem. Can stack well together. There's a better card that I'm getting more into that I should have probably used instead, and I'll get into it. But yeah, I found it useful on the line of Havana Brothers and defensive stem. So again, I think there's a better option than these. In hindsight, I think there's a better option than defensive stem. Epic score boost, and I can't stress this enough. Veteran, I would say for, I think I have like 14 #1 times right now. I don't know offhand specifically, but I think it's something like that. And I believe for Veteran was the key to about 12 of those. Veteran getting those auto headshots on Juvies, Scions, whatever, is the key to score runs if you want to, if you care about. I know not many people do anymore, but if you care about score runs, Veteran is probably the key to, to getting a #1 time on almost all maps. So yeah, if you want to use scorecards, epic score boost and regular score boost is the way to do it. Flank 'em is a card I haven't really gotten into because of the fact that I typically am a solo run person with this class, but 85% additional ballistics when tagging from side or behind. I don't know what this is at level 6, but this allows you, if you have teammates, you can get more damage on enemies when those enemies are attacking your teammates. When you're doing solo runs, they're only really attacking you, so there's no real way to get from the side or behind when using a skill card. But this does allow you to do more damage with Custom Lancer and other cards if you want to use this card in your typical Horde match or your typical 3-person escape match. Headshot Master is probably the biggest, or one of the biggest buffs in the game when they first introduced this card. I quickly made that level 6 for solo run purposes to get more headshot damage and things of that nature. But the gist of this is you do more damage on headshots, which is, the ultimate ability allows you to do auto headshots, so you're going to do more damage on those consistent headshots, which I find super useful. And if you're doing more damage, you will save ammo overall, so you don't need to rely on ammo pickups as much as if you're doing less damage. That's just a simple concept to understand. If you're doing more damage with your certain cards, you don't need to use as many bullets to kill an enemy. So Headshot Master, good for, the ultimate, and also if the Marcus has a sniper rifle, he can get headshots quickly. Brutal Efficiency, executions reduce cooldown time for Living Legend by 40 seconds. I believe roughly every 6 executions, Marcus gets his ultimate, roughly. In a map that has like rejects, like one of the spawns on Ice Queen, that is super useful to use your ultimate because you can get your ultimate extremely fast, which I did on Ice Queen. And this, the Headshot Master and the Living Legend also extends to your pistol ammo if you want to save ammo on your Lancer, Sniper, or whatever. So long story short, you get executions, whether it's bee executions or chainsaws. This also includes for chainsawing, juvies. This will help you get your Living Legend more often. Dug In is the card I was referring to. I should have used Dug In instead of Defensive Stem in hindsight, but a solo win is a solo win, and I'm not really sweating it. Dug In is 60% less damage in cover. There's one solo I'm working on that's more tougher than the other Marcus solos or most of my solos, and I am noticing how little damage I take when I'm in cover. As long as you're attached to a cover, you're good. You can be aiming over it, but your body just has to be attached to it. If you're off of cover, you're not going to get any of this 60% less damage, or 60% less damage in cover. So, and this also works against venom resistance as well, as long as you're taking cover. Obviously, Marcus doesn't have any healing, so you don't want to be in venom too long, but less damage overall is just less damage. Explosive resistance, 30% damage resistance from explosives. This could probably not help you from a Sentinel or Popper, or again, probably not help you from a salvo scion. But you can try it, and if you have better luck with it, good luck to you. Friendlier Fire, 50% larger living legend radius. This could help more teammates share the cover you're on. Now, and this is something I didn't know for an Ice Queen solo run. I didn't know much about Marcus, and this kind of inspired me to get into Marcus, where to be in Marcus's ultimate, you have to share a cover that Marcus is on. That way you can also get the auto headshots. So, long story short, when it comes down to if he has a larger radius, more people can get the benefit of the larger or the auto headshots. But unlike Marcus, you have to reload your gun. So you have to keep that in mind when you're using this card. From a non-veteran perspective, you still have to reload, unlike Marcus. Lancer stock. There's no recoil in the Lancer, but if you're getting your ultimate, you don't have to worry about recoil anyway. But I guess if you're the type of person that shoots your Lancer a lot outside of your ultimate, then you can you'll have less recoil. Or use it on the map. I don't know if this would necessarily be useful, but if the trap has, but there's no Lancer, I don't think, so that's not a good example. But any map, the trap specifically, though, has high recoil. Maybe this can help combat the fact that map has high recoil. I know they have Hammerburst on that map. I can't think of if they have Lancer. I don't think so. But yeah, that's an example that you could use for this class to help you reduce recoil if you want to. I know there's a one that can help you there as well. So it just really depends on the type of Marcus user you being as. So, and then score boost speaks for itself. 15% increased 15% time bonus in escape. So that's pretty much it for Marcus. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm not going to do any example cards or classes because I feel that the comment section is going to benefit way more than anything I say. I will attach the 3 relevant videos, honestly the 3 only videos for Marcus in veteran class on this channel. And I really would like to hear your thoughts on this class so I can learn from it and get better myself. Because this is probably, as far as the relevant classes in Escape, this is probably one of my weaker ones, but I didn't see any videos on it, so I wanted to touch on, to newer players, or touch on this class to newer players. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you have questions on anything I discussed or using this class, comment below. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. You guys have a good one. Peace.